looking for the words to explain my state of mind, and I couldn't find anything. Well, here's my best go at explaining this odd feeling. It hurts. But it hurts where you don't really feel. There's this part of your brain where we just numb things, we make things dumb, we dumb them down. It's like the exact opposite of pride or a boisterous, pompous nature. It's the exact opposite of feeling yourself. It's not a death drive versus a life drive thing. It's just like this weird set of ideas that you become familiar with. We turn it into like a mundane game to where rather than just experience life inwardly and outwardly, we try to create a spectacle. And these ideas, like, they could be as simple as delusions of grandeur, delusions of grandiose. They could be as simple as you being incapable of overcoming a bad habit, whether the bad habit is smoking or you aren't good at keeping your space clean. We are attached to it, and when we, I don't want to say the word fail, but when we don't act accordingly to our responsibilities, we get to sit here and feel miserable. But it's all needless. I don't understand why I become dejected by something that I don't have. Like, we don't have control. You never had control. Why are you vying for impossible things? The insanity. Goofy. What are we doing? I say it hurts. It hurts where you don't feel anything. And it's just like your imagination. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if it's not objective reality and truths, if it's just emotions and perception, if it's just your awareness, if it's just you turning on yourself, then that's nothing. Even if it's happiness, it's nothing. Even if it's sadness, it's nothing. Even if it's the greatness and the admiration from all of them reaffirming you, it's nothing. If you're living, you're living. These fuckers, I always try to make it more. It doesn't have to be them, they. It doesn't have to be based on collective. Like, just as a person, as a human, for some reason, you're called to try to make it more. Like, you're called to try to amplify your conscious and become radiant. What the fuck is wrong with us? No, we all want to be that guy, him, enlightened. But there's more to life than being enlightened. There's more. I don't have that shit anymore. I'm trying to kill the vanity. Why do we do what we do? These compulsions, the etiologies. I'm weighing all of the mannerisms in my action. Like, why didn't you steal what you needed? Why don't you steal what you need? And the only axiology that you have, the only arguments you can make are based on your own action. Say you've been caught for stealing before. That a thief that gets caught, there's some thieves who get caught one time and they never steal again. It was like they feel like they tested some type of external metaphysical boundaries or some fucking shit. I don't know. This shit is crazy. I'm just going crazy in the kitchen, thinking of everything that doesn't necessarily some of it is realistic. But some of it I need to just let go of. Oh God. Can't be attached to it. But in trying to let go of it, you learn it even more. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Like all day, for example, divination, my card readings. If I were to go do one, I would start interacting with myself in that internal dialogue, make a banter back and forth, talk about my pathos. We sit here and we really have something internally, and we try to project that shit. I'm trying to project it onto something, and I have no reason to project it onto myself. Like, what am I doing? You literally just talk to yourself. We're just talking to ourselves. 50% of the day is you're spending in a lull. That's reality. Why am I so dependent on fake shit? Like the idea that I have to eat every couple of fucking hours. Or like just sitting here and watching TV rather than fucking building something amazing, great. Like, what the fuck? You lose. There's this idea that you could become so conscious, so aware, that you lose your physical body. You stop feeding into the physicality of the world, becoming purely ontological. And it's just disgusting. No, not purely ontological, but in a way, it's like a kind of an analogy. You can never be purely ontological. Your conscious needs both. Like, you can't separate one from the other. It's fucking retarded. But still, you know what I'm trying to say. There's people who are so concerned with being witty, brainy, smart, genius, high IQ, that they forget we're here along with one another. We're here along with one another. You're not supreme by counteracting and annihilating all those around you. You're supreme when you can coexist with all of it. And there's so many mindful practice, mindful ways. You can be spiritual, you can be religious, or you could just be moral and ethical. You're all walking in the same light. We try to weigh things against each other like it's a versus battle. We try to say, I'm one that does this a lot. After having had grown up in these sorts of households, I bash Christians and Catholics all the time because I know the dogma very well. And to this day, it's still embedded in the tables of my heart. And I still read my King James Version. I still practice, but in a different way than the rest. And I often go and I point the finger at them and say, no, your practice is blah, 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 devoid of compassion, all results generated on fear, mongering, and hate. You know what I mean? Goofy stuff. It's like, but Christians do it, and that's something that we do, or like, they do it worse. Like, the Christians, they do it worse than me. The Catholics, they do it worse than me. Point the finger and call these people bad. But that's what cycles it. That's what fuels it. Is when you accept accountability, you don't need to remark on other people's misdeeds. Do whatever you can to not count their misdeeds. You have to only you. It's every day. I know with you, it's every day. Just like me. Why do we do this with our self-awareness? What is the point of a spectacle? Especially if not love yourself. What is the point? We got so entrenched tantalized by the media. Now people want to be the princess. They want to be the prince. They want to be that great warrior. The only things that you can even use to evoke those types of spirits within them are references to pop culture media. I'm gonna be like Rambo when I go in there. Or I'm gonna pull a Keanu Reeves and John Wick them if they ever come get my dog. You know, it's like, what are we doing? What do we do to ourselves? What the fuck? And no one wants to separate themselves from it. Even me, I get caught probably 30 minutes at most every day. You can find me on the YouTube shorts just scrolling, looking at goofy ass memes. It's not so much a problem when you're only going for 30 minutes or an hour. But then again, it's absolutely not what you should be doing with your time, and you know that. So many of us are neglectful and wasteful. And so many of us pretend we have free time because we don't dedicate our mind to expanding. One thing that a lot of people don't do is try to learn when they're outside of school. When I started to realize that, I was like, Jesus Christ, there's nothing to this world. And there's people that in school used to have straight A's. Used to be the ones you could go to get work done. And now they don't even remember most of that. It's sad, bro. It's not like they're dysfunctional because everybody is serving a purpose. And like I said, you don't point the finger. Well, what are we doing? What is this society? We live in a society. No, it's not even that. It's not even a what is this society moment. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? All I see myself doing to fulfill myself, I started doing some aquaponics. Yeah. I started selling custom made desserts. We're doing it. We're doing it. Well, we just gotta find out how to do what we do better. That's why we go through the motions. Go through the emotions. Goofy. Life is just life. Watching jokesters tell their jokes. Watching jokesters joking around. I don't even know what it is that I'm looking toward. Goofy shit. It's like when you start to give yourself a second. Don't think about yourself. Don't go intrinsic, internalize. Don't think of your own personal mind. When you think of the collective conscious around you, the people around you, ask yourself what's important to them right now. Bruh, Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef? What the fuck? I'm not gonna deny some of you said Palestine and Gaza and Ukraine. But I don't know. Isn't it kind of funny that just as important as these literal like wars, people are dying, getting bombed, just as important, we hold like a media internet beef. Like, what the fuck? We have this shit going on. Niggas are losing their lives, and you guys are holding up your signs in colleges and trying to fucking hand out pamphlets and flyers and waivers. Going on fucking, what's it called? Marches. Real protests. And then, like, you're simultaneously living for the memes. Fucking dropping your BBL Drizzy diss on Drake and Kendrick, cause fuck it. What the hell is life? It's so goofy. How many of you actually have a pet or like plants outside that you tend to, or like maybe you have a kid? How many of you have actually, you garnered that sense of self by teaching? It's not about holding something accountable. It's not about reprimanding or chastising something. It's just there's real life. There's growth. Like, I feel as if there's material where I could go get a Ferrari, or there's material where I could be that guy who has an elephant. You know what I mean? It's like, which one would you rather have? Died and said just like a couple of other rich douches or rich lowlifes. I had a Ferrari. Hell yeah, that's epic. Or fucking, I got to live with the elephant ever since it was a baby until it was an adult for like fucking 60 years until I died. The elephant outlived me. I hope my elephant, I hope they treat her well. I hope they treat him well. Whatever, fucking elephant. Oh, that's way better than fucking a Ferrari, bruh. I don't want your damn Ferrari. Overall, you know, there's people who we get our love, our joy from different things. I don't know. Some people are embedded in the life. Even if it was just a garden, bro, I want to go out there. I feel like I'm on my Vinland Saga season 2 arc. You know, I'm out here about to start planting this shit in the ground. You know, we really reaping what we sow now. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I just watched this last season, and I'm on the East Coast, and y'all niggas know they was growing corn since like March. And it's almost done. It's almost ready. And it's getting too hot to grow more corn. You know? Like, I'm just looking out and see my fucking grandpa's field, and he has corn in there. And it's just, and I watched it grow up, and like from little plants, not even real plants, just seeds in the ground. And now they're tall as me, 6'4". Now they tall as me. That's real life. That's what I need to get into. Fucking, I swear, there's like, I could go chase a bag. I won't even make it catastrophic or disastrous. Maybe you won't get shot. Maybe you won't die out here in the streets, boy. But what do you get from it? You chased money for a little while, and then you settled down and realized you had nothing. I swear, you're living on the line of comfortable sustainability, and you think that that's something that you should glorify or optimize. Like, living on the line of comfortable sustainability, that's where your mind settles. That, what the fuck? When it's working in exchange for your time, when it's you go work as a wagey, not a wagey, but you know exactly what I mean. When you go get that hourly wage, when you say, I will give you my time, and you compensate that with a little monetary gain, you know, revenue, profit. That's what it is. That's what it is for a lot of people. That's all they could do. And I guess I'm not bashing that. But you can't settle for that. Not for 20 years moving up on the corporate ladder. Not 20 years doing that. Not 40 years and all you make is $7 more than when you started. Not $21 more. Not even $50 more an hour. You gotta chill. A lot of people, you can do what you want. But while you do that, you have to have something to live for. You know, you guys became real bitter. I swear. I can feel it. Everyone feels it. Why is it so toxic? And there's so much animosity and resentment and reserved, like, spite. And it's like every single person you encounter, you will project your ire onto them for no reason. Like, we sit here, we talk about differences in opinions and being equal, but everyone's just a savage beast. I don't know. I don't have some type of fucking compassion. I'm not like an altruist. I really am not. I know that. It's not greed though. I'm not fucking avaricious. What is the point of all that? I'm just trying to convey this tone, this message, and I know it's going over everyone's heads, but that Thorfin season 2, I mean that Vinland season 2, Thorfin season 2, he was running it. He was running it against the nature, the elements, cuz. Have you even gone outside and seen how much space you have that you could be putting shit on? Bruh, there's niggas like me who are saying, I might not have that much space. I might not be able to get cows. You know what? I need to get over my fear of bugs so that I could get feeder bugs and sell them online in mass type shit. You know? You gotta do what you can. Insects are profitable. Crickets, roaches, everybody keeps reptiles, and so you buy them, sell them, breed them. You gotta take advantage of what you can. You gotta think of ways that you can do it, ways that you can genuinely take action. What steps are you gonna take to become what you say you wanna be? I just started yesterday. I went to that creek and I got my seeds for this first aquaculture, this first pond. I ordered some seeds online a long time ago, so they're finna be here. I got lettuce seeds and thyme coming. I already got spring onions growing out there on top of the water. And I went to the creek and I got some moss, and I only managed to catch one minnow. I caught one tiny ass minnow, and I couldn't even catch them. I was deep in that water, getting the minnows. I even tried with the net and the bread, and the bottle and the bread. The minnows was too smart that day. But I got one of them, and it's like the tiniest little minnow. And you know how I got it? I don't even want to tell y'all. Y'all gonna think I'm a pitiful ass nigga. Truth is, y'all, the minnow was in a pool, a tiny little pool of water that was like kind of cut off from the access to the main water. And I literally desperately scooped out all the water so that nigga would be suffocating for a second. He with no water. He couldn't move anymore. Then I grabbed him and threw him in my jug. That's literally the smallest thing. I didn't even want to pick it up because I was like, oh shit, I might kill it with my big old fingers. You know, you need fish poop. And them niggas are gonna eat the mosquito larvae, because don't nobody want a pool with a bunch of mosquito larvae in there. I'm getting the mosquito larvae killers. You don't need no chemicals, you just need some minnows and tadpoles, cuz. I'm also gonna just go to the pet store and buy like a goldfish, like just a hardy fish that could live in like that it's almost, I want to say that's like probably 20 to 30 gallons of water, and it's just gonna be like a natural diverse little biome. It's gonna have its own system, its own ecology. I created my own little world. You know, that's what humans can do. That's low-key kind of cool as fuck, because when you start to think about all those old scriptures where they're talking about you have dominion over the earth, it's hilarious because I can get something from a completely different continent and then literally put it in this with something from a completely different continent and put some of this from this continent here. And you know, within this continent, there's these two different species, and I'm gonna get both. This one grow on the East Coast, this one grow on the West Coast. But don't worry, they grow in similar environments, and they gonna be perfectly fine living together. It's like humans really are dead ass making like a lot of weird shit happen. We're different from birds. The only things that be like humans is ants and beavers, bro. It's weird when you start specking into like building, bro. Once a creature starts specking into building, it becomes crazy as hell. Could you imagine being in Africa Just like imagine walking through the bush and you just see these big ass towers that are like tall as fuck. There's like one that's 12 foot tall, and there's one that's like 8 feet tall. And at the time, it's hot. It's hot as fuck. So them boys went underground. But you set up there because you're like, oh, this is a little thing that the people here must have built. And look at these mounds. Only a human could build these mounds. They so tall and they got these holes in them. Of course, that's a human. And you just wanna be posted up because you're afraid of the lions. You're like, we got a good line of sight, and these mounds that these Africans built for us. And you're sitting there thinking that they're literally human made, but by the time that it gets cooler and night comes out, you got these giant ass fucking termites coming out in mass. And you like that would be the most terrifying thing on the planet. Like that would be the most terrifying thing. Imagine not knowing and going. You don't have to be afraid of bugs for that to terrify you, bruh. A black mass, like on top of the night, there's another night. Like it's 2 nights now. That's disgusting. And they're huge. Oh, lordy lord. All I'm saying is, you think about beavers and the way that they affect waterways, making huge ass dams, you know, just diverting water. We really can't conceive or perceive of the reasoning as to why they do what they do. Sometimes it's like, oh, they just want to make it bigger. But when we start to think of etiologies, it's like, okay, maybe the beavers, it's like, it doesn't have to be about like biological imperative. I'm not like personifying the beavers. It's just the idea that there are creatures that go out of their way to build things and create structures. And that's different from making a nest. Like humans, to manipulate the environment. That's what I'm trying to say. There's things that genuinely manipulate the environment. There's things that caught on to the way that something worked, and then they started fucking with it. It's just a reality. Even if it's as simple as introducing a species that became invasive and wrecked everything. Like, because in some ways, that's exactly like manipulating the environment. Like you brought in a super predator, an apex predator, and now it doesn't even have to kill to eat. It's just testing out the server. It's in a new place server, cuz. That's reality though. Anyway, I'm just talking about the idea that there's things that manipulate it. Humans really do have a different type of manipulation. Don't no beaver be building a Hoover Dam, cuz. Them beavers can build, but they can't build like us, folk. Don't no beavers be digging pits that if you dumbass go in unmarked water thinking you cool on a little raft, you float down and fall into. That's the truth. We're really innovative, and it's not about innovation of humans. I'm just literally talking about the idea that, like, I don't know. We be growing shit, folk. We got this weird ideas. We really started doing crazy stuff for no reason. Well, it obviously had a reason, but how did you learn that shit? How does like an ape begin to notice? I've seen birds, bro. Like, I've literally seen birds take the seed and, like, poop it out, and then that's where it starts to grow. So you could imagine that maybe, like, there were some bipeds at one point who were, like, they were there, watch something eat the fruit. Or maybe it was them, where they were eating the fruit with the whole seed, and they shit it out. And then it started to grow where they would go to shit. They were like, wait a minute, fool. Wait a minute. That's crazy. Tell me that's not crazy. It could have been the bipeds, whatever, humans, Homo sapien, whatever the fuck you want to believe. What if it was them? They did it themselves, you know? It could have been they observed another animal doing it. Like, oh, the deer ran shit over here. Oh, the bird went over here and took a shit, and then the plant started growing. I saw it eating from the tree over here. And it took that seed and over there when it took a shit. But it could have been them, you know? Like, there's the seeds that a human can process and shit out. Especially an old ass, like a fucking proto-sapien, an old ass model of a person. The prototype, the OG niggas. You know what I mean? That's real. You guys don't know what I mean in the fucking slightest. Nigga, I bet I sound fucking retarded. Anyway, there's like a weird idea of just people. Why did we start doing this retarded shit? Why did we start having ideas? That's so crazy that like we switched from hunting and gathering to literally having the capacity to grow a field of shit, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then like the way that we started mongering over those fields. Like you can't directly just fight over the fields, you know what I mean? Because someone has to tend to those fields. And then we came up with ideas like we're gonna enslave these niggas. I'm not talking about Columbian exchange. I'm talking about like the birth of ideas. And that's not even, like slavery is not even a human concept, cuz. I swear to God. There's some things that are just in nature. They're just natural. And it's not symbiosis because those ants go into those other ants' mouths and they start killing them niggas and they drag the other niggas back. They say, you finna work for us, folk. You my slave now, folk. And don't tell me those ants fucking learned from some goddamn humans. That's some bullshit. This ain't no ant's life. Y'all is too caught up in your Disney Pixar reality. We gotta speak to that though. That's real. That's part of the mongering over the fields. Like, you can't directly just kill everybody because then you have no one for the field. And at the beginning of this shit, I wonder how hard it was to grow things. Or how eager humans got to just plant different types of seeds. That'd be amazing to watch. I had a time machine and just infinite time. I would just watch these niggas. Like there's a couple of individuals who in history who were like, it doesn't matter what their names were, but it's just obvious that they were like exploring as far as plants go. They were like trying to dig up random plants at that point. Like once they started to realize, not just one individual, but for hundreds of years the knowledge grew. But obviously there's a progenitor. All ideas have a progenitor. And I'm not saying that there aren't different instances of that phenomenon's birth. Because objectively, when you engineer something, it's to facilitate a goal or like it's synthesized from the society's needs. And so what I'm trying to say is that there's some things like building a boat that sure, Africans invented fucking boats, but that doesn't mean necessarily that white people from Europe stole the idea. Because anyone can observe buoyancy. They can see water and they can see something buoyant floating on it. You know what I mean? Like it's a natural phenomenon that just exists in nature. And so you can see it, like a stick floating on the water. And then you're like, wait a minute, folks. Now, how many sticks does it take for me to float on the water? Because I just seen the frog floating on the stick on the water. That's real life. Tell me that I'm not right. That's fucking reality, though. It's weird. Because some people really do get offended and claim all sorts of silly, biased-ass ideas that are so... There's such facades that are easy to see through. Like when you start talking about who got to North America first, or you start talking about just the fact that there's so many empires with monoliths that we can't even explain. Or architectural, like fucking, like, what is the word? Marvels. And you think that niggas didn't build no damn boats? And they had trade routes going 1,200 miles? How the fuck you don't think they wanted to explore, folks? I don't know. The world is the world. I'm not trying to talk about no goddamn politics, but just consider all these silly ideas, and consider all these like notions that people suggest. And a lot of people, you don't read through them. You just accept, like, you hear someone like me talking, and it just goes into your head, and that's what you start to preach. That's what, because it's so palpable. It's so true. But I say people like me loosely because I try my best to like completely be forthcoming and truthful. But a lot of niggas, they want you to feel a certain way about something. That's something that I most definitely lack. I just need you to understand the one thing, and it's that you have to try to understand for yourself. The discernment lies in your hands. I can't make you believe nothing. No matter how much dogma, nomenclature, no matter how much I instill this into you, trying to enrich you, it's all you. Don't ever give it away. Don't let them tell you, don't say these words because these words have negative notions. Don't let them convince you that their magic, they can impose its most rudimentary principles onto you. That's when you lose. That's when you're the weakest self. When you believe that their literature, their spirits, their faith, that it takes root in you by you merely being here. That means you have no substance, no value for yourself. That's just the truth. You boys, you ladies, you men, you women, you Negroes, y'all niggas need to chill, folks. You gotta stop pretending that you have no divination. You have to stop pretending that you're good as you are. It's not about being in a place that's bountiful. It's about having the hands that can bring about prosperity. Having hands that really, they're really there at every single moment, discerning things. It's not, you gotta take action, fo. Take action, fo. I don't know, it's just real life. Oh, Lordy Lord. That's just the way that we are. Y'all niggas is the same as me. And that's why I'm trying to get through to you. You see, a lot of people go ahead and write this off as me talking down. But no, I wouldn't be saying none of this if I didn't think you had the capacity to comprehend it. I have faith in you. You go now, and you be well. You do good.